We spent 4 days hiking along the legendary Inca Trail to Machu Picchu with Alpaca Expeditions. In this first part of our 4-part series, we'll share our day 1 experience, starting our trek through breathtaking Andean landscapes, exploring ancient ruins, and setting the stage for an unforgettable journey. So we've just arrived at the start of the Inca Trail. It's 8:35 in the morning and we're just about to take some photos in front of the sign and then we'll be starting on our way. So we've just really officially started actually hiking. We hiked across a bridge and then just up a small hill to get like the briefing of what the next couple of days are going to look like and a brief history of the area.
Probably we don't know anything about each other, but we have 4 days to share many different things. We may gonna share snack, memories, experience, no? Even to elevate perhaps. Right?
And now we're just doing it. I think you said we have about 2-hour hike to the first stop. I'm sure there'll be stops along the way as well. But yeah, right now we're just hiking and it's nice. Been flat so far. I know that's not going to stay like that, but just for the start, it kind of feels like they're easing us into it. And today is supposed to be a moderate level of difficulty. Whereas tomorrow is supposed to be difficult, if not very difficult, and the last 2 days are supposed to be an easier time, mostly downhill, I believe. Yeah, and we just learned that the main predator along around the Machu Picchu area is a puma or cougar, and there's a chance we'll see some white-tailed deer.
They have bears. And
there's bears, a speckled bear, I think is what he called it. And they're smaller than a black bear. And I think mostly vegetarians.
Till they become adults, then they become carnivores.
Yes. And yeah, and then I guess the range of mountains that we're going to be hiking along are the Andes. And he did show us where Salcantay Mountain is, as well as Dead Woman's Pass, which is the highest point along our trek. And I'll see if at some point I can get a better perspective shot of what that looks like, but for now we're just gonna keep on hiking.
Keep on doing it. Temperature is supposed to be around 16.
And in the sun it's 27 degrees Celsius.
So it's a nice cool breeze.
Yeah.
And a very hot sun.
Yeah. And I mean, when we woke up this morning it was 5 degrees.
Yeah.
So yeah, decent hiking weather so far, maybe a bit on the warm side, but overall
we have layers.
Clear skies and
I think if the clouds roll in, we'll be very cold very fast.
Yeah. And we'll check back in a bit when we're more into it.
Farther along.
All right, so the mountains you see up here with the glacier on it, the left side is Salcantay. And then the right side, somewhere over there, is Dead Woman's Pass, which we'll summit tomorrow. Hi, you're so cute. Where's your brother? Or, yeah, I think you're a brother. Just your butt.
Nice valley.
It's beautiful.
I like so much of my...
They are very indigenous to Peru.
So we've arrived at our first rest stop at the hydration station. It's been about 4 to 5 kilometers of hiking so far and mostly flat at this point. There's a little bit of incline, but not really much of any. At this stop, you can either have your snacks that were provided to you by your tour company, or you can buy things like water, snacks, and what our guide said was most importantly, this is the last stop to get ice cream. There's also a nice little viewpoint that you can walk down to and get a whole view of inside the valley and some mountains in the distance, including Mount Veronica, which is the one that has all the glaciers on it. And then there's also toilets here, and it costs one sole to use them. They did have toilet paper when we got here, but by the time everyone used it, they were out. I assume they will replenish it, but it is good to just bring your toilet paper down to the bathroom, just in case. So things have definitely gotten a bit more real after the hydration station. It was pretty easy going until that point. And now it's been a lot of mostly uphill, pretty steep, just trying to push through. We're currently going down a bit again, and then we're about to climb up a very steep hill in about 1 minute. We'll be getting to the bottom of it, and hopefully it won't kill us getting to the top. Just gonna cross this river and then up the hill we go. You ready for this, Dave? You ready for this?
Oh, no.
I know. So we're about halfway up that hill. And I mean, the incline is difficult for sure. That's definitely contributing to it. But the beating sun is just so hot that any energy you had to get up the hill is just being sucked out of you by the heat. Henry.
What's your Quechua name?
Henricha, no?
Henricha.
Yes. Henricha, yeah. Patallaqta means the village, the town, up on the terraces. That's what it means. That Inca site, Patallaqta, is considered the largest Inca village along the classic Inca Trail to Machu Picchu.
So we just had a 5 to 10 minute stop at the first Inca site along the trail. Just got to look around. Our guide told us a bit about it. And he also mentioned that none of the sites, including Machu Picchu, are fully original. A lot of them have been restored over time, but it's still very impressive. And now we're just heading back to grab our packs, and we have another 1.5 to 2 hours of hiking till we get to our lunch spot. Shade definitely seems to be a luxury on this trail so far. Anytime there's a big patch of shade, you'll normally find just like a group of hikers standing in it. It's now just after 12:30 and it's around 27 degrees Celsius. And at this part of the hike, we're basically, for the most part, heading up again. We got pretty much down to the level of the river a little bit ago, and now we're climbing to reach the lunch spot. Maybe another 20 to 30 minutes. We're supposed to see a bridge at some point, and that indicates that we're basically there. So our guide told us to walk until we came to a fork in the road. There was one questionable fork, but someone checked it out, was not it. Not long later, hit a fork, and now we're crossing a bridge. And lunch should be 2 minutes on the other side. So that was the bridge we're supposed to hit, and then it's only supposed to be 7 more minutes of hiking to the camping spot. As soon as we started hiking after lunch, which we left the lunch spot around 3, it's now 20 to 5, and it's just been mostly uphill and pretty brutal. So there hasn't been a lot of time where we've stopped to film, because all those stops were just to catch our breath, have a little break for a minute, and then keep going. Yeah, it's been very challenging, but slow and steady. I think we have about 10 people from our group in front of us, and I think 3 behind. But there's so many people from different groups on the trail that sometimes it's hard to tell. So if you can see all those people on the trail down below, that's where we just came from. It's been straight uphill. So when they said 7 minutes or so after the bridge, that literally meant 7 minutes or so straight up, like 45-degree angle at least. It's certainly been an intense last couple of hours, but we're so close. We're almost there. And then camp will likely be set up. I don't think we'll be eating dinner right away. I have no idea. But I know there'll be some bowls of water for us to wash up in, and we can change our clothes into something not so sweaty and smelly. And then, yeah, at some point we'll be having dinner. And I think bedtime tonight is around 7 p.m. And I mean, it's already just about 5 o'clock, so maybe we will be eating sooner than I think. So not even 20 seconds later, and Dave says we're here. I can see camp. It's been a long day.
A long day.
And we've been surviving off of like maybe 5 hours of sleep, maybe. Oh, I'm so excited and so happy that we did it. Okay, so that first set of tents was not ours, but just across from them.
We are here.
We are here.
All right. So we just finished our first day of hiking on the Machu Picchu Trail.
The Inca Trail.
Inca Trail.
It is the trail to Machu Picchu.
Okay. We got in around, what time would you say we got in? 4:30?
No, I think it was after 5.
All right, we got in sometime around then.
Around 5:30, I think.
Morning went well. Leading up to lunch, it got hard. After lunch, I think our pace was bad. We set a much better pace into the after lunch. After lunch was 2 hours straight uphill. We made it.
We did.
But it was rough.
Yeah, though we did, like you said, we had a much better pace after lunch. Before lunch, when we hit the hills, we had already been going too fast, even on the like flatter parts. And we just like gassed ourselves out. Like,
Yeah. Got in here. Tents were set up.
oh, it was wonderful. The tents were all set up. They brought in our
Sleeping pads.
that we rented.
Pads, very good quality. They feel very nice.
Yeah, really.
We kind of just unpacked all our bags that they'd already carried up here for us. Had a couple snacks that were inside our bags. There's a person here that was selling drinks. I bought a Coke for 15 sole.
No, it was 10
it was 10 sole. You're right.
When we first arrived as well, they had our bags down ready for us to grab to bring to our tent. And then they had this time, so at lunch it was a cold bowl of water, which was amazing and refreshing.
Yes.
For like washing your hands and
Yeah, I
stuff.
forgot about that.
Before eating lunch. This time, because it was getting cooler again, it was actually very warm water.
It was very nice with some soap.
Yeah, so we were able to like kind of wash our faces. I washed my arms because of the sunscreen.
I washed my hands and then I washed my feet.
I washed my feet too. I was a bit skeptical at first, but it was a really good plan because right through our shoes and right through our socks, my feet were so dirty. And
My feet weren't that dirty. Jess just has really dirty feet.
your feet had some dirt on them.
And they was just lint from my socks.
No, you had dirty toes. Anyways, and then after we kind of got things a little bit situated in our tent, we went up to join everyone for tea. And we had some popcorn, which they said was to help ease us into eating a bigger meal after exerting ourselves so much. You get soup before every lunch and dinner, and it was, I don't know what kind of like a vegetable soup. There was some
Vegetable
rice in
soup.
it. It was very good.
A little bit of chicken or something.
Yeah, I had some tea. You had some hot chocolate.
And then they brought in, I had a lot of hot chocolate. It was very good. And then the food came in. It was like chicken and rice, and there was gluten-free food and
They've been really great at bringing
Vegan
me
food.
gluten-free stuff, and yeah, there's a vegan and
Did I say chicken already?
vegetarians. I think you said chicken already.
yeah. And
Very
then
tasty.
after that, as soon as we finished eating, it's now 7:20.
At a certain point, because we were just chatting with everybody, and at a certain point, our one guide Henry was just like, "Okay, good night," and we're like, "Oh, good night," like thinking he's leaving, and he's like, "No, good
Everyone.
night."
Everyone leave.
Time for bed, because we're getting a wake-up call at 4:30 in the morning. Apparently we're not to set any alarms. They will make sure that we're up. And then we'll have a bit of time to pack up, go join for breakfast, and we're supposed to be, I think he wants us to start hiking by 5:45 in the morning.
It's very fast. It's like up at 4:30, ready up in the tent by 4:50.
like fully packed, ready to go with your bag up there. that you're
breakfast is at
carrying.
that time. It's 20 minutes. If you miss that breakfast, you miss breakfast.
Yeah.
Then tomorrow is the hard day. Today was moderate. So tomorrow is 4 hours uphill. We have to climb 800 meters of altitude, I believe, in the twilight to try to get to the first hill of 4,000 meters.
Before sunrise.
Before sunrise. Then we do, they basically said just don't take any breaks if you can, or don't sit down, just stand.
Yeah, take like a minute max standing to
Yeah.
catch your breath, and don't sit down and just keep going.
So you'll see some footage of that tomorrow of us suffering.
Yes, and our guide plans to try and set the pace for everyone.
Yeah.
Because it's like, depending on what time we get into the lunch area tomorrow depends on whether or not we get to have a siesta. And
Or we just immediately start again.
or if we have to get up and start right after eating, and then he wants to get into camp for the night before sunset so that we can watch the sunset and not have to hike in the dark. So
Anyways, we'll probably explain that all again tomorrow, but we're currently just doing a last minute thing with our red headlamps.
yeah,
So it's going to look kind of weird. Hopefully it turns out. And other than that, that's it. So
we'll see you tomorrow,
see you tomorrow.
bright and early.
Bye.
Good night. Join us for day 2, where we experience the most challenging day on the Inca Trail, hiking for over 10 hours and summiting the highest peak we've ever experienced at 4,200 meters in altitude.